Medical imaging kills people, but the problem is there's no smoking gun. So 20 years down the line, when you're dying from some type of cancer, who can prove that it's from a CAT scan or some nuclear imaging? A new study looking at just CAT scans in JAMA suggests that the scans done in 2023 will cause a future 103,000 cancers. But they also failed to add in the 8 million nuclear stress tests done in the United States each year. And a nuclear stress test can be more than double the amount of radiation for a CAT scan. And what they also don't talk about is the absolute lack of standards. You might walk into, for example, an independent radiology center and get a chest CT on a 20-year-old scanner, or a university hospital, a brand new one that can drop your radiation exposure to 25%. Yep, 1/4 the amount. They don't talk about that. Add all these nuclear stress tests that the authors don't even consider, and perhaps another 4 times the amount of annual radiation exposure, just with one nuclear stress test. And I've reviewed records of patients, and I know there's some cardiology practices radiating the heck out of their patients as a means to profit when many should not even have the nuclear stress test. Then there's also the entitled people, as you know, running around requesting body CT scans or coronary CT angiograms when there's no indication for them. And I've dealt with them as well, and they get upset when I just don't approve it because it's not indicated. And by the way, particularly in young women, they even have a greater risk of cancer down the line. So, what do? How do you reduce this risk? Well, the obvious thing is you reduce the amount of stress tests, the nuclear stress tests that are unnecessary, and avoid all unnecessary radiation. Again, if your doctor's giving you a yearly nuclear stress test, you have to sit down with them and have a serious talk. Now, this topic, as you know, really bothers me. How the heck can some doctors order 3 times the amount of nuclear stress tests that I do when we have the same patient population? It just has to do with the bigger bank account. And hey, 20 years down the line, when somebody has breast cancer or bladder cancer, nobody can prove it. Consider non-radiation sources, like a stress echo or a cardiac or an MRI of some sort. And try and find centers with newer machines. I think the FDA really dropped the ball here, big time, huge. Not demanding that all centers tell you what the expected dose of radiation is going to be versus the average dose elsewhere. It's kind of akin to how much electricity an appliance uses in a year. You've all seen those labels, right? You know, why not on your future CAT scan? I hope that helps.